Have you ever felt that the human body is a perfect machine, a masterpiece of millions of years of evolution? Every part, every reflex has its own purpose. Right? Actually, not really. Our body is more like a messy attic than a meticulously arranged museum. Somewhere among the useful items, there are still scattered, obsolete antiques, reflexes that evolution forgot to clean up. Today, we're going to count down the 5 most awkward software bugs of the human body, 5 useless reflexes that creation left behind. 5. The Babinsky Reflex, the rebellious toe. Starting our list at number 5 is something doctors often do with newborns, the Babinsky Reflex. It sounds sophisticated, but it's actually very simple. When you stroke the sole of a baby's foot, the big toe will bend up and back, while the other toes fan out. In infants and children under 2, this is a normal sign that the nervous system is developing properly. But the strange thing is, if this reflex appears in an adult, it's an alarming sign, possibly indicating damage to the brain or spinal cord. So the question is, why this difference? Scientists believe this reflex is a trace of a primitive stage of neurological development. As we grow and our central nervous system matures, this primitive reflex is suppressed. Sarcastically speaking, the existence of the Babinsky reflex in adults is like a ghost from the past, a reminder that somewhere deep inside our advanced operating system, there's still some old code left over from prehistoric times. It's completely useless in modern life, except to give neurologists more work to do. For the third eyelid, the demo version of the window to the soul. Now, look closely in the mirror, at the inner corner of your eye. See that tiny pink lump of flesh? Allow me to introduce the plica semilunaris, or in layman's terms, the glitched version of the third eyelid. In many animals like birds, reptiles, and some mammals, the third eyelid is a transparent membrane that can be drawn across the eye for protection and moisture without obstructing vision. It's like a built-in, super-efficient windshield wiper. Birds use it when flying at high speeds, crocodiles use it when diving underwater, and cats use it to give you a contemptuous look without even blinking. And in humans? It's a relic. It can't move, has no clear protective function, and most of the time, just sits there. The associated muscles have also degenerated. Basically, we possess an obsolete eye accessory. It's like buying the latest smartphone but still keeping the retractable antenna from your old brick phone, just for show. 3. Hiccups. When the operating system lags, every one of us has had hiccups. A sudden spasm of the diaphragm, followed by the characteristic hic sound as the vocal cord snaps shut. It's annoying, sometimes troublesome, and completely meaningless. One of the most interesting and somewhat ironic theories about the origin of hiccups is that it's a legacy from our amphibian ancestors. Millions of years ago, creatures that breathed with both gills and lungs needed a mechanism to pump water over their gills without flooding their lungs. The spasmodic contraction and sudden closing of the glottis in a hiccup are very similar to that gill breathing mechanism. Yes, you heard that right. Every time you hiccup, you might be reenacting the breathing reflex of a fish from a long, long time ago. Whatever the reason, in modern adults, hiccups serve no clear purpose. It's an old piece of code, a faulty background program that sometimes starts up for no reason, forcing us to endure annoying spasms until it turns itself off. 2. The palmar grasp reflex, traces of a Spider-Man. If you've ever placed your finger in a baby's palm, you'll know the incredible power of this reflex. The baby will grasp your finger with phenomenal strength, sometimes strong enough to briefly lift their entire body. This reflex isn't about showing boundless affection. It's an ancient survival mechanism, a relic from the time our primate ancestors were swinging through trees and had hairy bodies. Newborns needed the ability to cling tightly to their mother's fur to avoid falling while she moved or foraged. Today, humans are no longer hairy enough to cling to, and mothers no longer swing from tree to tree. This reflex has become useless for survival. It disappears after about 5 to 6 months. But in those first months, it remains a humorous reminder of our vine-swinging past. It's like a temporary superpower that every baby has, a tiny Spider-Man instinct, before evolution decided, alright, that's not necessary anymore. 1. Goosebumps, the failed heating and defense system, and taking the top spot for the most useless reflex is none other than goosebumps. When you're cold, scared, or even deeply moved by a piece of music, tiny muscles at the base of your body hairs contract, making the hairs stand on end and creating bumps on your skin. In our much hairier ancestors, this reflex had two fantastic uses. When it was cold, raising the hair created a thicker layer of insulating air, helping to keep the body warm. When facing an enemy, fluffing up their fur made them look bigger and more intimidating, an effective scare tactic. And in modern humans? With our thin and sparse body hair, getting goosebumps for warmth is almost completely ineffective. And imagine facing an attacker. Would getting goosebumps on your arms make you look even a little bit scarier? Probably not. This reflex is a classic example of a feature that has become completely obsolete. It's like trying to turn on a broken heater or growling to scare off a tank. Our body still retains this reflex, a futile and somewhat pathetic attempt to fight off the cold and fear. So there you have it, from rebellious toes to failed attempts at fluffing up, our bodies are filled with remnants of the past. They aren't design flaws, but rather preserved chapters in the biological history book of each person. They show that evolution is not a straight path to perfection, but a process of patching, trial and error, and sometimes simply forgetting to press the delete button. Do you know of any other useless body reflexes? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next strange exploratory journeys. Thanks, and see you again.